Hey there, folks. Welcome to another edition of the West Coast Popcast tier list. I'm Eric, joined by Zach. How you doing?
Good, man.
Very good. And Knock, how about you?
I'm good. Glad to be back.
All right. Don't know when we'll release this, but this is the exact same day we just did the PWI best matches of the year. So we're going straight into best wrestlers of the year by PWI. As we said before, if you didn't know, PWI is a magazine that deals with kayfabe wrestling, semi-kayfabe. So a lot of these people who are best of the year, they might not have been best in-ring worker or best promo, but kayfabe-wise, that year was all about them. Rules for this one. We're going to go ahead and vote, decide where each person goes in this list. This one's kind of complicated because, as you can see, some people do repeat. John Cena, for example, because he's the best in the world at that time. Right, Zach? We're only going to judge them by that year when we're talking about them. Whatever they did that year, that's how we'll grade them. By the end of the list, there can only be one in the S rank, and we also have the power to veto and move everybody around. If you don't know how it works, go back and check out the other videos. We've done this plenty of times. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty. We're gonna start off strong. Year 2000 goes to The Rock. Before we get to that, I just wanted to say, so the record for the most people in the Royal Rumble for PWI's best wrestler is 3. The Rock came along and just ruined it for Stone Cold because Stone Cold was 1998 and 1999, and I believe he might have been a runner-up for this year too. So The Rock really did just ruin the thing for Rattlesnake. Where do you guys think Stone Cold should go? I'm gonna start with you, Knock.
The Rock or Stone Cold?
Sorry, The Rock in the year 2000.
I'll say A class.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I actually gave that whole long intro is because I was stalling for me to pull up my notes on The Rock. So just to give you guys an idea of what he did in 2000, he won the Royal Rumble, which led to the McMahon in every corner. He won his 4th WWF Championship at Backlash against Triple H. Lost in an Iron Man match, but with HBK as the referee. Won his 5th WWF title in a 6-man tag at King of the Ring. He was part of the 6-man Hell in a Cell with Rikishi, Stone Cold, a bunch of other people. And he won the WWF Tag Team titles with The Undertaker, and he lost them the next night to end the year. I'm going to agree and give him an A, but I didn't realize when I was doing research, The Rock's career from 2000 to 2004 is very strange. Like, 2000 is his longest year as The Rock that we know, I think. After that, it's just acting gets in the way completely. Like, I don't know what his best year is.
Yeah.
I think his best year was before this because he wasn't really in the title picture. I give this one an A. I really like this was probably like his best on the list that we'll see The Rock. I do think before this was when he was still catching on. He was still The Rock and he's still big before this, but I think this was a really great year for him, championship wise and title picture wise. And then the runner up this year was Triple H, actually.
Thank you. I was completely stalling, so I was really hoping I was right about that.
Problem.
All right, so we agree he goes into the A column. And yeah, you're 100% right. He definitely was still The Rock before this. This was like his 4th and 5th title reign. 2000. All right, we go on to 2001 for his 3rd time in PWI. Stone Cold Steve Austin, with the runner-up being Kurt Angle. To give some ideas of what Stone Cold did this year, he basically returned from neck injury to face Rikishi in a no holds barred after the whole "I did it for The Rock" thing, and destroyed Triple H's car with a forklift. It was really just that big rivalry for him, and his return was, I think, really put him over the top of everybody else. Nice feel-good return. Zach, where'd you put him?
We'll give this an A because when he came back and did a lot of stuff with Triple H, it showed that he could still hang. He looked hungry when he came back, and so we got the intensity back.
Very fair. Yeah, I think I'll agree. This was definitely a fun, entertaining Stone Cold. It was it 2002 or 2003 where he did the invasion? I want to say 2003.
Yeah, and that was basically like the downfall of Stone Cold for me.
Yeah. I mean, as we go on through this list, what I really like about this theme we're doing is that we're going to be following basically the same storyline for a couple of years because we're going year by year.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is definitely before the fall of Stone Cold. Still good. I vote A as well. How about you, Knock?
Yeah, put him in A class. For every reason you guys just said.
Gotcha. All right. 2002, of course, it has to be Brock Lesnar. Because why not? This dude did so much. This is the Brock Lesnar I think it's okay to be a fan of. Like, you can love this Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Today, not so much.
It's before they broke him and made him this unbeatable force, and they just him not wrestle much, just throw people around.
Exactly.
His part-time gimmick.
To give some ideas of what he did, this was a debut year. He debuts by attacking Al Snow, Maven, Spike Dudley. Defeats the Hardy Boys in single competition and a tag match with Heyman. Wins King of the Ring by beating Bubba Ray, Booker T, Test, and RVD, who was the runner-up for this year's Best Wrestler. Won the title at SummerSlam, defeating The Rock. He is the second fastest person to win a WWE title since his debut, behind Ric Flair, and he defeated The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell. I am going to say S class because I think that's a hell of a year.
Yeah, not only was he did he win it the fastest, he was the youngest, I believe, all time.
Mm-hmm.
He was, yeah.
And he just took to it like no one else before. Maybe like comparable to Angle. This is definitely S class in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. If anyone wants to know how you push a big man, someone who's just going to be a beast, a monster, watch this year of Brock Lesnar's career because this is just, it's a blueprint for someone that it works very, 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 very well for.
Exactly. All right, Brock. I don't know if you go there today, but right now you are S class. All right, we'll go ahead. 2003, Kurt Angle with the runner-up being Brock Lesnar. Let's see what he did. He defended the WWF title against Chris Benoit successfully. He lost the title to Lesnar at Mania. That was the Mania where Lesnar did that botched shooting star. Yeah. Only Brock could do that and still live. He came back from injury to win the title for the fourth time against Big Show and Lesnar. Defeated Lesnar at SummerSlam. Lost to Lesnar on SmackDown in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Even though Lesnar eliminated him at Survivor Series, Team Angle beat Team Lesnar, and he lost to Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania. I'm gonna say A column, just for the Brock Lesnar stuff alone.
Yeah, him and Brock were tearing it up around this time. I'm not surprised Brock was runner-up this year also. I'll give him A column. I love Kurt Angle, but it wasn't quite S class.
Yeah, I agree, but it almost shows like this year is what made him so great in TNA because he got to do so much big profile stuff, but he's also putting people over. I think he became a well-rounded vet this year, and it showed. So I'd say A as well.
All right, completely agree. All right, folks, 2004, do not be fooled by the double O's. Unfortunately, the picture editor screwed me over here. The winner of 2004 was Chris Benoit, but due to obvious reasons, we don't feel comfortable showing his face. Runner-up was Randy Orton. So to say what Chris Benoit did, he won the Royal Rumble match at number 1, the second person to do that behind Shawn Michaels. Forced Triple H to tap out at Mania to win the heavyweight title. Won the tag titles with Edge to be a double champion. Defended both titles, lost the tag title and kept the heavyweight at Bad Blood. lost the heavyweight title to Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and he won the tag titles again. Edge was his partner, but Edge walked out and he won it solo. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to you, Knock. Where do you put him?
To be honest, I might put him in the B column. The match with Kurt Angle, he had a few matches. Kurt Angle, I don't know if this was the year he fought Jericho also, but those are hell of a matches. Great technical, a clinic of a wrestling. But I don't remember his title reign being much, in my opinion, what I remembered. So yeah, I put him B class. I feel like he got taken out of the picture quickly.
Yeah, his win was a big moment, well, not huge, but babyface goes over cleanly over Triple H for something that you don't really see. I'll say B. He did great work, but I don't think they went all in on him.
Yeah, and because him and Eddie won at the same time, right? The world titles.
Yeah, that was the one where Eddie came out.
I remember, like, not even being biased here, but I remember looking at Eddie and being like, damn, this is like the guy. So I don't really feel like he was the guy this year.
Gotcha. How about you, Zach?
I'll give it a B for the amount of work that he was doing that year. But yeah, that title reign it's all about the chase to the championship. Eddie was a guy you wanted to see with the belt for a while, and then once Chris had it, it was just kind of dead. So yeah, I'll say B.
Yeah. All right. 2005. This goes to Batista, and runner-up was our boy John Cena. You know what? John Cena got screwed out of this one. I want the 3-time PWI. I'm gonna write them. Let's see what Batista did. This is gonna be my last one for the notes. He won the Royal Rumble. This was the one where both he and Cena hit the same time, and Vince tore his freaking quads. He defeated Triple H at Mania to become the heavyweight champion. He was the first person in WWE to pin Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match. And he won the tag titles with Mysterio at the end of the year to honor Eddie Guerrero.
I remember that. I'm going to go as far as saying you're wrong about Cena getting screwed over, kid. This is Batista the Animal. It was a hell of a year from him. I enjoyed every second of it. The whole evolution, all that stuff, the world title win. It was his coming out party. I'll put him. This is an A-class performance for sure.
Yeah, how about you, Zach?
Yeah, I'll give it an A. It really put him on the map, and it made him a really big deal. I just feel like there's something I wanted more out of that year, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it was A. It made me just like really dig Batista a lot.
Yeah, I think this was the first I saw of long-term story booking, and it really worked out well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'll agree. A also. All right, hit the music. Get the spinners. The champ is here. 2006, John Cena, runner-up. I think you'll like this, Doc. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I remember this. This is when Joe and AJ had that unbreakable triple threat match that got him in their spotlight. But nothing wrong with this. I agree. Cena was for sure wrestler of the year. This is when he was already champ. He already beat JBL, right?
Yeah, he beat JBL.
This is feuding with Edge.
Yeah, this is when he beat JBL, so he goes to Raw, and he started feuding with Edge. He lost the title at the Elimination Chamber, won it back in 3 weeks. Did somebody take that Royal Rumble? I think Triple H did.
I don't think Triple H got it this quick.
But that is pretty much what I remember from this year, is that he got cashed in on, and I know Zach is looking for it as we speak, so I can count on Zach to correct me. But going off what you can remember, what would you say?
This is S class. Cena became who he was before. It was right before the Super Cena era, and it was like he was a cool dude still. I still liked him when back in the day. So S class performance in my opinion.
Actually, I remember that. Okay, so he loses to Edge, and this is when he did the one night stand. Everyone's screaming, "F you, Cena! You can't wrestle."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Edge RVD wins the title. Edge gets in the triple threat. Yeah, you're right. This was Cena feuding with Edge. Yeah, this is the Cena that I think of the most. Like, I still to this day think he and Edge were an amazing rivalry. So I agree. A class.
I'll say B. I just have issues with him. I just really do. It'll hinder this a little bit for me. But yeah, I just say B. I feel like this is where we started seeing Cena being pushed to be Hogan, which means bad guys and villains and heels don't get as much attention as they should.
You're definitely right. This was where it started, but for that exact reason, it's why I'm gonna give 2007 a lower grade, because that's when it really kicked off.
That's what I was gonna say. I still think there was a good back and forth this year. How he fought with Edge a bit. You know, he kept taking the belt from him, and Edge didn't get a proper run.
Mhm.
07 was when it became like, all right, this guy is just never gonna lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. To go straight into it, 07, Cena started the year with Kevin Federline.
Gosh.
Yeah, where Umaga helped Federline get the pin.
Yeah.
And basically, it was just Cena defeating Umaga and just being a super face, like we said. But the key thing about this year is this was the one where he teamed with Shawn Michaels to become tag champions, and he beat Shawn Michaels at Mania.
Was this the Michaels year or was this the Triple H year?
This was the Michaels year.
07?
Yeah. Yeah, this was the one where he won the titles and then he fought with HBK. And the next time on Raw, they had the best match of the year. Like I said, I'm going to give it a lower grade. I will give it a B. Just because it's definitely Super Cena at full strength. But I don't know. At this point, I didn't hate him yet. I think I started to dislike him. I didn't hate him yet.
Yeah.
You see, Eric, I'm a wise man, and I can see into the soul of people when I look into their eyes. And when I met John Cena, I saw that dirty soul that he has. I learned to hate him very early on. I will give this an F. This was
Oh my God.
This was corporate greed going for Hulkamania in its finest. I love the match with HBK, but this was just Vince shoving it down your throat and making him the guy to sell the company, to be the face and everything. And yeah, it's not something I look fondly on, and it's another reason why I do not like John Cena.
As
Runner-up this year was Kurt Angle.
that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I think what it comes down to Cena is with these years, I was young enough to be part of that demographic that they wanted Cena to appeal to. So I was that kid who, when he came out, I'd salute him. So part of me just can't hate him. But if I was older at the time, I would 100% agree with you. Logically, I know Cena was something different. He was not. I would not like him today in his prime.
And before you get into it, Knock, I just want to add, I did like Hulk Hogan when I was younger, which was the same formula that they're going for with Cena. So for everyone who likes Cena and does dig him during all this, I do not argue with you on why you like it. I totally get it because I was into Hulkamania.
Right.
I can understand that because, you already seen this. I think it's kind of like now with, or before when they were pushing Roman in that way, and it was just really bad. I didn't like it at all. I like Roman more nowadays than when they were pushing him down the
Oh,
throat.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Everyone gets their own generation where they were like, okay, this guy is the face, but he's not good. Right now it's Roman Reigns. It was Cena. What was your vote going to, Knock?
This one, I was gonna put him in the B class because he still, worked his ass off and had a good year as far as output and work, but it just didn't really. It was too much. He hurt a lot of other guys.
Yeah. If it was 2010, I would give him an F just because of the Nexus. But
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they They gave it to someone who I don't know if I think he should have gotten it either. But
Yeah, because I mean, I'll admit, like at the time, I loved him. I still love him at this time. This is right before I started liking Edge more. But yeah.
All right, I think I voted for. I'll be honest. I want to put him in C now, but I'm gonna stick with B. Very low. All right, we go on to 2008. I believe the runner-up once again was Kurt Angle.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So Triple H 2008. This was. That's always weird. I don't remember what Triple H did this year.
I remember this one pretty specifically.
All right, can you give us a quick little summary, please?
Yeah, this is when he was feuding with Randy Orton a bit, and then he got changed over to SmackDown.
And if you remember, he had some feud with Great Khali. One of his feuds on SmackDown was one of the worst pedigrees I'd ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he pretty much was the champ over on SmackDown when they had that whole change. I didn't particularly like this, to be honest.
Yeah, now that I look back, so for some reason my notes just disappeared on me, but I remember looking it over, and I guess what impressed me was how much he defended the title. But
Yeah.
looking back, I did not like his reign. I didn't like him on SmackDown. I didn't like anything about this.
Yeah, like I remember this one specifically. I was glad he got the belt because I did like him, and he hadn't had the belt in a bit. So I was glad he had that run, and he was doing his feud with Orton. But just everything after that, like, was kind of bland and kind of forgettable.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was a huge Triple H guy around this time and before this time, actually. Honestly, ever since he was with DX, I was a Triple H guy. But this was nice to see someone who's been around in the company get the belt again, because sometimes thrown to the back. Yeah, like you said, everything was very forgettable.
Yeah, like this was the year with Vladimir Kozlov and.
Yeah.
It was rough to watch wrestling this year. A few years around this year, it was just really rough to watch.
Yeah, I wish I watched TNA back then.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey, Samoa Joe was right behind Kurt Angle and Randy Orton. Be up there this year.
Yeah, if you want a little more context, this was the triple threat when it was Triple H, Cena, and Orton. It was that year.
God, I fucking deserve for not. I deserve for not watching, because I remember my dad would watch it on TV, and I'd be like, "You're not watching WWE? What's wrong with you?" I was the one who was wrong. But I don't think we voted on where he's going. Zach, where would you put him?
See.
Yeah.
I'm putting this one in the C.
Yeah, he's going in C. I think I'd vote D, but either way, he goes in the C column. Next up, 2009, we've got Randy Orton. Runner-up, our boy John Cena. I remember this year, I'm not a big Randy Orton fan, but even though I have to admit, this was a pretty cool year for him. This was when he started feuding with the McMahons. Shane came back, and this was this was like the Shane that I still really liked. Shane, who was not a wrestler, who wasn't the best in the world.
Trash.
Gosh. And this was the beginning of Legacy. Basically, if you know this era, you know Randy Orton was basically like the heel face of the WWE. Where would you guys put him? I'll start with you.
This is
Knock.
This is A class. This is great. I love this Randy Orton. This is probably the best he had been. That legacy stuff he was doing. I'm pretty sure this is the year he had fought Triple H again at Mania. I think he lost. But besides that, his whole reign was really good. He was the perfect villain after Edge, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll give it a B. I thought it should have been bigger. I thought Legacy should have been bigger. I thought they should have almost have been up there with like an NWO-ish kind of vibe. Again, this is another thing that I kind of attribute to them just looking for a face of the company kind of thing. So it's just all about John Cena. all about it. It should have been about Randy Orton. It should have been about legacy. It should have been about DiBiase and Rhodes, and it should have been about them just taking out everybody. So that's all I'll put it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and vote B also, even though I think this is Randy Orton's best work. Best work objectively. Personally, I think Legacy Killer or Legend Killer is my favorite Orton, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of slow, methodical Orton. He's very boring to me, and that is what this one is. But I have to
punting people's heads off, man. I thought that was yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but I would also remember this is the year he told Kofi, stupid.
This is
Yeah. But I'll give him B because it was, I think objectively, if I was like a promoter, I'd be like, hey man, perfect. You couldn't have done better. But as a fan watching it, I never connected with it.
Okay.
Except for the McMahon stuff. Like there was the 6-man tag. For some reason, I like that. But go on to 2010, still Randy Orton, and the runner-up goes to Rob Van Dam. What the hell is Rob Van Dam doing this year?
This is I think he was in TNA. He was when he won the TNA belt, I think.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Rob, I see you. So 2010, basically, it's kind of the same thing as 2009.
I was saying RVD had a really good year this year. That's what I was just.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have to go back and look at it. But for 2010, Randy Orton pretty much second verse, same as the first. Only difference is Legacy disbands at some point, but Randy Orton still gets his title.
It was that Mania. They had that. Remember that triple threat match? It was him, Cody, and DiBiase.
I want to say this is the year where. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I still think the biggest mistake they made at that time was even Cody says to this day that everyone thought Ted DiBiase would be the one to go over. They didn't really.
I never got, because every time he was on the mic, you knew he felt off, or he felt I don't know. He just seemed like he was scared, or he wasn't like full at it. So I don't know why they thought they were going to push him so heavily.
Yeah,
he was the star of the moment.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and vote. If we gave B to Randy Orton for 2009, I'm gonna say C.
I'll agree. Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah.
All right. But see, this makes me want to veto Triple H now, because I don't think I consider these two to be the same, 2008 and 2010. But we'll see. All right, moving on to this. This year was just amazing. It's 2011, CM Punk. Such a good year for Punk that people still talk about to this day. Runner-up being John Cena. This was the summer of Punk. This was Money in the Bank. I want to give it S-class.
Same.
I don't know if I'll keep it there, but
he took over.
Yeah, I mean, just for that. I mean, I remember I was when I lived in Wisconsin, I used to drive down to Chicago once a week to do Second City, and on the way back, I'd listen to the Jim Rome show, and on the way back, I think it was a Tuesday. Yeah, it was the Tuesday after the pipe bomb. Jim Rome, who doesn't talk about wrestling like ever, was talking about the CM Punk speech, and he was breaking it down, and he had the clips on and everything. And then I started seeing it on all these other websites. I mean, he did take over after that. I mean, he was just so in tune with what the fans were thinking. And yeah, I mean, that's a good S-class nomination.
all right. 2011 Punk, meet 2002 Brock Lesnar. All right, 2012, once again, CM Punk. This one, runner-up was Sheamus. My goodness, okay.
Oh, that's trash.
Yeah, that is crazy. Austin Aries behind Sheamus is crazy to me. That's ridiculous.
That was Austin Aries' best year. He was amazing that year.
Oh my goodness. So basically 2012, this was, I feel like WWE had gold in their hands with Punk and they tried to overcomplicate it so much.
Yes.
And that's what this year was. It was Jericho coming back to interfere with a champion versus champion match with Daniel Bryan. It was John Laurinaitis sticking his nose and everything. It was just, they took something fun and they ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not Punk's fault at all. That's the sad part about it.
No. The Jericho feud was cool. It wasn't as good as it could have been. I remember it took a lot of the same stuff that happened when CM Punk was not feuding, but he had a promo with Edge back a few years back, where Edge was like, "You're copying me. You did the 2 Money in the Banks in a row. Now you're trying to be like me, trying to be the ultimate opportunist." And Jericho pretty much said kind of the same thing about being the best in the world. And it was kind of like, I don't know, repeating itself a bit.
Yeah. I even took from that Jeff Hardy feud with like, you're straight edge. How about you take a drink? Which, granted,
Yeah.
Jericho did very nicely, but
Yeah, it's Jericho.
yeah. Zach, where do you see this one going?
I will put this in the C category. I thought the whole thing was misbooked.
Yeah. When I look at, sorry, go ahead, Knock.
I was gonna say real quick. I don't know if I can do that. 'Cause I'm pretty sure this is the year he had the year-long reign, right? As champ.
Was this the year? I don't believe so, because
It wasn't.
I think this is the year, because I for some reason did this year with Kevin Nash. Let me
Oh,
double
all
check.
right. If
that.
it's not the year he had the year-long reign as champ, then I'm putting this in the B. If it is, I'll put it in the A. Just for going through that. I know that's pretty grueling.
Okay, so you are correct, Knock. This is he has a title, and it's leading to the January Royal Rumble where he faced The Rock and he lost it to him. Yeah.
For that, I got to put it in A for that. 'Cause he had some really good stuff he was doing his own, like the promos he was doing. I thought was pretty cool, even though they just misbooked it.
They were fine promos, but they weren't CM Punk promos to me anymore. They were WWE's CM Punk promos.
True.
Because they
True.
kept trying to like have him say something so like pipe bombish constantly.
Yeah.
Like at contract signings and everything else, and it was just it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel. It felt like WWE's CM Punk. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how you should put it. It's WWE CM Punk. It's like it's the same CM Punk, the person, but WWE just put him all these wacky, nonsensical storylines. I'm gonna go ahead and say, where's the other CM Punk? Where do we put him at? B?
S class.
Oh, right, S. I'm gonna vote B. I think that splits us A, B, and C.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think just because at the core it's still Punk, it's just the booking is completely against him. I can't blame him for that and give him a C. If his name was Bobby Lashley, I'd blame him, but not Punk.
Oh, come on, man.
Booey.
But we move on to another fine year. Daniel Bryan, 2013. Runner-up. Anybody know?
It was John freaking Cena,
It
Yeah,
was John Cena again?
it was.
followed by Bully Ray and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Bully Ray had a good year that year.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but yeah, he had a good year.
He did. All right, Daniel Bryan, 2013. So this kind of confused me because when I was looking at my notes, I automatically assumed this was like he wins the title and retires, but I don't think that's till next year, 2014. I think this is like when he starts to do the yes movement.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because the last thing he did was feud with the Wyatt family, and he did the whole yes thing on top of the cage.
Yeah. I think you're right about 2014.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense. He's not 2014. I think he's runner up in 2014 because he unfortunately had to retire after the first half of the year.
Yeah, he's running.
Yeah. But to give, I mean, 2013 is still a great year for him because this is when he won the championship, got screwed over by Triple H, and they tried to bury him, but he just naturally kept coming back with the fans. And the pre-mentioned Wyatt family feud, I thought was pretty cool just because of the whole cage match swerve, even though he lost the feud, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say B, just because I think 2014 was his better year.
I guess I'd probably. I want to say B, but I kind of want to say A, maybe upper B, because he's doing a lot of stuff on his own. Like he was really like connecting with fans on his own, which is pretty huge.
I'd agree with him A. I think I'd go with A.
So this wasn't his big win, right?
No.
No, it was in April of 14.
Yeah.
But I mean, all this stuff led up to it, you know. So
Yeah,
it's just-
I'll still give him A.
Yeah. I think I'd change my vote to an A. We could get 3 A's in that. All right, Daniel Bryan.
Cool.
I mean, I couldn't go anywhere without seeing that yes chant.
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah, definitely. All right, 2014. This was the return of everybody's favorite, Brock Lesnar. Followed up by Daniel Bryan, as Zach said. AJ Styles was third, John Cena fourth, because John Cena is everywhere. Let's see. I believe this was the SummerSlam where he just destroyed Cena.
Yes.
Sweet Flex City.
Gosh, that was actually traumatic for me because in my head I'm like, okay, John, get up now. Good job, good selling. Now get up and fight.
Boy, did we watch that match. You stay down, you little bitch. I'll come over there myself and give you one.
Oh,
Give him a carpool to Suplex City. Come on, Brock.
Oh man. And then he got the title. This pretty much was just leading up to him at WrestleMania versus Roman Reigns. Hey guys, Eric here. Before we continue with this video, I thought it'd be cool to let you guys know that our next Pop 10 video is actually on its way out. We're just working on the final touches. It's going to be talking about the top 10 wrestlers in 2019. If you haven't seen our other Pop 10 videos, check them out. But here's a little snippet of the top 10 celebrities in pro wrestling just to get you ready for the next Pop 10. Let's go. While there is no tried and true recipe when it comes to becoming a successful wrestling promotion, a key ingredient is star power. Sometimes you're blessed with a roster that is so charismatic that they can create their own hype. Other times, though, you need to reach out and ask for a little help from the biggest names in pop culture. I'm Eric from West Coast Popcast, and here are our top 10 celebrity appearances in professional wrestling. Honorable mentions go out to Karl Malone, Pac-Man Jones, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ronda Rousey will not be making the list, however, due to her becoming an active member of the WWE roster. Number 10, the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. And we're back. Hope you like that teaser. We left off 2014, the year of Brock freaking Lesnar. Runner-up goes to, I want to say, Daniel Bryan. And
Yes, makes sense.
AJ Styles and John Cena. So I had to do some looking back. It turns out Brock did a shit ton this year. This week came back, he beat Big Show. I think they did the whole ring breaks spot they always do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He beat, I think this is the year he beat Taker at Mania, I want to say.
The 2014.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was.
30.
It was, because this is the one Daniel Bryan won.
Exactly. And he just destroyed Cena, traumatizing for some, rewarding for Zach.
Oh, so good.
Vince was in the back just crying. He had to sacrifice his favorite son.
Yeah.
I I don't want to give him S class, but he did beat Taker at Mania.
That's what I was gonna say. You have to give him S class, man. He ended the streak. That alone.
Yeah.
So I always just kind of figured people weren't going to beat the streak, and this Brock one threw me off completely. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even the referee didn't know. He
Right.
gave his interview saying he thought he was going to be fired.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he counted 3 and thought he screwed up. Then he saw the graphic and realized, okay, I didn't. Everything's okay. Yeah, I feel bad for any wrestling fan who didn't get to see that happen live.
Yeah.
Because that is, I think, the most painful moment I think WWE intended to like really hurt, that it connected 100%. Yeah, I say S class just for that one match alone, which wasn't even that great a match. It's just the 3 count.
Right. And also probably one of the biggest pops the night after Mania.
Yeah. Oh man.
And again, just like almost killing John Cena at SummerSlam was so good to watch.
Wasn't this the year? I think he might have. This might have been the year he rematched Taker at SummerSlam. Actually,
was it? You know what? Wait, no, didn't he rematched Taker at SummerSlam, or it was like Taker came back as a heel because he was low blowing Lesnar? So it might have been the same year.
I just remember that that part in the match where Lesnar sits up and Taker sits up and he's like laughing.
Yeah, that whole meme thing.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's consult with the judges. So that Mania was definitely this year. It's just a matter. I think the rematch was next year before he went into WrestleMania with the title. Because I'm trying to find it. It was definitely after Beast in the East.
That was horrible.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it here. It was October 25th, 2015.
Ah, okay.
But I think we all agree he gets the S rank for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think 2002 and 2014 would both go in there when I first put this together, but I don't know. Booking really, and I don't know, everything about Brock. If he's done right, then he's great. If he cares.
Yeah, if he cares, and man, I don't know, man. I don't know how you let someone just go to run the show however they want. They turned him into their own Hulk Hogan from WCW.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
But it was after this year, so it's all good.
Exactly. All right. 2015 Man of the Year goes to Seth freaking Rollins. Runner-up, Jay Lethal, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. So obviously 2015 was the year where he had the heist of the century. Michael Cole's been milking that ever since, but
it's boss time.
That's right. So, gosh. Also, this was Rollins' year. He defended against Brock. He had J&J Security, the authority behind him. It was a solid year for him.
Yeah,
It was.
Want to say, and I could be wrong, but I'm double checking as I say it. This might have been the year where he had the double
Injured Sting?
championship. Yeah, basically. I think that happened the same year too.
Yeah, I think that was the same night.
Yeah.
That's when the same night he fought Cena, the Sting.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
of that, I know it could. I know anything happens in wrestling. I know it could have happened at any time. Sting was old. I'm gonna give him a B. It pains me. I don't want to associate that with Rollins, but I kind of do.
Yeah. I mean, that was the night that I've always disliked the buckle bomb, but that was the night where I was like, oh my God, this move is stupid.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like Seth Rollins at this point, also because of Finn Balor's injury. And I was questioning if he was even a safe worker, but
I think that was the year after. I think.
oh boy. You're right. Yeah. So this was the
Yeah,
beginning.
Battle Stuff is the year after.
Yeah, but I will say, this was a hell of a year from Seth. Heist of the Century is something crazy.
I think I'm gonna agree with you, B, because even though they booked him, it was weird. They booked him, I think, almost correctly, maybe correctly, and he did everything correctly. I just didn't feel like he was the face of the company with everything that he was doing,
Right.
as if he was still learning. And he was young. He was just getting there, but I don't think you should be learning and also be WWE champion and United States champion and injuring Sting.
Mhm.
Yeah. How about you, Zach?
I'll give it a B. It made me like him, and I didn't like any of the Shield guys, but it did make me like him. They're just doing a basic authority villain kind of thing with him, and I know it's kind of training wheels to turn him into a main event thing. I just feel like he had better years than this. His cashing in was such a huge, great moment, but everything else, I feel like he's done better after losing that first title.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about how that cash in. I think it was our S rank in our Money in the Bank cash in video.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but everything after, like you said, was better. So I believe you said it was a B, right? Or
Yeah.
all right, right, the B column with you. And now coming up, the first of the triple crowning goes to AJ Styles, runner-up Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Dean Ambrose. 2016, he debuts at the Royal Rumble, and I remember being so mad at his debut because I just literally finished taking multi-camera television production. I've been in the studio. I've been a technical director. I've been a director. Your one flipping job is to watch all the cameras and decide which camera is the best. I don't know how Kevin Dunn looked at Roman Reigns' camera and said, that's the camera we're going to cut to as AJ Styles debuts. That was a ridiculous cut.
That was terrible. That was so piss poorly done.
Gosh.
You have a new theme song that nobody knows about. You have the lettering coming in slowly with smoke on the screen. You have AJ coming out in a hood. That camera work was so shoddy and was like, honestly, like biggest Rumble entrance ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest pop, one of the biggest pops.
And then how
It's
does
like when-
WWE like act like it didn't happen? The next day they released the never before seen footage of last night's
Yep.
Royal Rumble online. Like no one goes on WWE.com. No one fucking goes.
No.
Even
Not
when I
at all.
go on like WWE shop, I find a cheaper fucking place to get it.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was just bad. But he came in third. He lasted a good while. He goes into a storyline with Chris Jericho, and they dub themselves Y2AJ. We get Jericho and AJ. I remember thinking AJ should have won this Mania, but he didn't. Jericho took it.
Yeah.
But then he had a very solid year. He went with Reigns at one point. This is when he turned heel, did the hashtag beat up John Cena, called him a nerd. Feud with Enzo and Cass. Good start year for him. Where would you put him, Knock?
You don't even gotta ask me, man. This is S class. Shit. This is getting my vote. So everything leading up to this, everything he's done, I'm a huge fan of TNA. He's my favorite of all time. This means so much because the whole stigma before this was, you go to TNA WWE, they're gonna change your name. They're gonna treat you different. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna come right back. And that wasn't the case for the majority of people. Outside of maybe Samoa Joe, the majority of people did not cross over and make it. So now this guy, AJ, who came in saying, you're not going to be a main event. You're probably going to be a mid-carder at best. We're going to use you to help out with the talent. He comes in. Royal Rumble. He got eliminated by Kevin Owens, by the way. I'm pretty sure it was him who threw him out the Royal Rumble. Feuds with Jericho. Taps him out his first pay-per-view. He did lose at Mania. I thought he should have won. But it's Jericho. It's whatever. It didn't hurt him. Going forward, he has those great matches with Roman Reigns. And now he's primed. Get him that match, that feud with Cena. Great stuff. I've been wanting to see AJ versus Cena for a decade before this. And finally got the WWE Championship within 6 months being there. You can't write that. You can't make that up. That's very, very difficult in his shoes to do. So this is S-class for me.
Damn, you might have won me over.
I know, he sold me, man.
Yeah. As you were talking, I was also looking up everything he did after the Y2AJ stuff. I didn't realize this was the same year where he and Dean went to SmackDown. So he got the title from Dean, like you said.
Yeah.
Did the Survivor Series thing. I might have to agree with you, especially because after that argument, I can't say anything but S-class. Yeah, I'll give him S. I don't know if I'll keep him there at my vote, but I'll give it to him for definitely convincing Vince.
I will also say, the convincing Vince, proven ending the stigma, coming off of Wrestle Kingdom also, and then doing that with Shinsuke.
That's right.
The end of the year, he had that feud with Ellsworth, which was, if you like it or not, that was comedic gold. He was whooping Ellsworth's ass. And at his age, at this point in time, he did a springboard 450 splash outside on a table in a TLC match. Hell of a year from him.
Very fair.
Yeah, man, you sold me on that. We can put him in S. I don't know if I'd make him the main one, but he switched gears left and right that year, and he proved why he is phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. We continue with AJ Styles 2017. This is the beginning of a trend for the last 3 years, because after this, every runner-up. Oh, wait, actually, no. Never mind. I'm talking out my ass. No. Runner-up for this year was outside of WWE. Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega, and Cody. Yeah, 2019, they cleaned up their act. WWE cleaned up. So this year, AJ was also killing it. This was the year where Jinder was champion, but thankfully AJ showed up and took it off of him. He replaced him in... I mean, the only thing he screwed us out of was that dream Brock versus Jinder match. I was really looking forward to that. But AJ versus Brock was okay too, I guess. It was a good year for him. I'll give it to him. It was a very solid year. He feuded with Kevin Owens. Shane was in there.
So speaking on the Shane stuff, he didn't have a Mania opponent, I think, a month in. They had no idea, and they just had to throw him with Shane, and they started building that story. I thought he did very well with that story build-up and the match.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah. I think in the middle of the year, like his feud with Kevin Owens, it was a little disappointing in my opinion. I thought it could have been a little better. The SummerSlam match is okay. It was decent. It was a solid match, but I think it could have been a little better from them. The best match he had as U.S. champ, that you remember that year, he lost to Baron Corbin, and I think it was Ty Dillinger in a triple threat when he lost the U.S. belt. But the best match he had as U.S. champion was when Jericho came back for that one-off, and it was him, Jericho, and Owens on a SmackDown. And I think he won it back that day, because I think Kevin Owens won it in some botch the night before at Battleground. So his whole summer that year wasn't the best, but then he won the WWE Championship, had that match with Brock, and that match with Finn Balor also.
Yeah.
I'll give it an A, because the year before, 2016, he was the best in the world, in my opinion. This year, I'm pretty sure this is when Okada and Omega were having their trilogy, and I cannot lie, he might have been surpassed this year. Still great all around, but as far as match quality, I think the peaks Omega Okada hit were untouchable.
Yeah, this was definitely the year where like AJ stepped up to the plate. Like Vince, I don't think Vince had like a golden boy he could really rely on this year. The Jinder experiment failed, and AJ was there for him. And like you said, I was gonna say that Finn Balor match. Man, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but
TLC.
That's right. Thank you. Everything went out fine. I'd never wish anyone to be sick, but everyone was fine. But the stars aligned, and we got the Demon versus AJ, and that was well worth it.
And then taking that coup de grace, the stiffest coup de grace I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, you can hear him.
Yeah, I'll give him an A. He's earned it.
Yeah, I'd give him an A too, because I think this was the year he proved he's good no matter where you put him. It proved basically to fans who didn't know him before, and it really proved things to Vince and everyone else in WWE. He is the man.
Yeah. All right, and 2018, Kenny Omega running up, Cody at third place with Seth Rollins in fourth. You want to take this synopsis over, Knock? What he did this year?
So this year he became the longest SmackDown champion in history. Held the WWE Championship for just over a year. I think 2 weeks after the year date, he lost to Daniel Bryan. But he had his match at the beginning of the year with was it Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the Rumble in that triple threat. He had some cool spots in that match. He had his dream match against Shinsuke, which wasn't what we had hoped, but it was still a very solid match. He had a great entrance that year. He had a match he won a 5-pack. Cena, Ziggler, Corbin, Rude, a whole bunch of people won that match and just looked like a superstar. What else did he do that year as his champ? He fought the Samoa Joe feud, got real personal. Samoa Joe shined, they both shined. That was another thing with me, seeing these two guys from TNA, man, headlining, being in this spot, fighting for WWE Championship on a major pay-per-view like SummerSlam. That was very cool to me. Good year from him, just solid stuff, not overdoing it, not like the best, not the greatest, but he had a good year. It's A-class for me. Nothing insane, not his best year, but a solid year.
All right, how about you, Zach?
Maybe a B. Just because his other 2 years were better, and I don't want to put them all in the same category.
That's fair. I don't know, because I think about this year. Like you said, you put out a lot there. He did do a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
The big three feuds were Shinsuke, Joe, and Bryan. I don't consider Shinsuke a win, even though the last match was the closest to what
their
we were
last
hoping.
man standing match is really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joe was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good, yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan, this was the start of, I think, personally, I think AJ obviously did amazing. But when I think about this year, I think of everyone that AJ fought. I don't think of AJ. So
I can see that.
I
Because
think
Daniel Bryan looked good. That was the beginning of his thing. Samoa Joe, I wanted him to win the belt. And we wanted Shinsuke to win the belt to get his run, but that didn't pan out.
yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to say AJ was so consistent from 2017, 2018, maybe all 3 years.
That
That it
just
just
very
feels,
consistent.
yeah, it feels like it went down. But I'm going to vote A. I agree. I think 2017 was better. Because I think 2018 was a different story for AJ's career. It was the opponents.
I think 2018 was better than 2017. I feel like there's a part in, he had his match in 2017 with Cena and his WrestleMania match with Shane. But the summer was a whole lot of nothing, really, in my opinion. It was kind of down as opposed to the summer in 2018.
Gotcha. Yeah, I might go back and look at this.
I will blame booking, though, because this is when they were doing that nonsense where, we'll have a no disqualification or no contest, and we'll have this guy feud the same guy for the next 4 pay-per-views, and we'll just milk it. They've been and then, so that kind of took out of the fun.
Yeah, that's very true. For right now, he goes into the A column. And last, certainly not least, Adam Cole, baby. He is followed by 48, possibly 49-year-old Chris freaking Jericho, Seth Rollins, and of course, it's 2019, so you have to say Kofi Kingston.
Should have been ahead of Seth Rollins.
He really should.
He should
have. So this was the year, I want to say, he beat Gargano at NXT TakeOver. Well, I should know this. I just did a video on it. Toronto? Oh.
Yes. Because he won Fatal 5-Way that I got to see live at TakeOver New York.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, it was a very good year for him. Instantly, Cole. I think what's really cool about Cole winning the title was that a lot of people, it kind of takes him a second to establish himself as like the face of a brand, but Cole instantly got it. It was instant. Like, you knew he was in charge.
Yeah, he has a knack for that.
Yeah. To correct myself. So NXT New York, Cole lost. Takeover 25 is where he beat Gargano for the championship.
Yeah. That was their first standalone, right?
Yeah. Toronto's where the rubber match happened. But basically, when I think of this year, I remember end of it, Ciampa came back, Daddy's home, Adam Cole kind of just trying to keep him at bay. But the whole year was just Adam Cole's year. Where would you put this, Zach?
I'll put it in A because he was pretty much the guy I was thinking about most of the year, other than Kofi and the women going into WrestleMania 35. Adam Cole was pretty much the guy. So I'm going to give it an A. He held his own. He's so good on the mic and doing his backstage stuff. He's so good in the ring. And the guy is just gold. Now he doesn't have the belt, but like I can't wait to see what he does without it now. So he's the guy I just want to keep my eye on in 2019. I watched everything he did.
Yeah. I want to say this is the same year he did the War Games and then Survivor Series, or he did like 2 matches night after night, and he should not have. Pete Dunne is your second night. It's a rough night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. He's S ranked talent, but I don't want to flood the S, so I'm gonna give him an A.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put him in A also, but I want to say this. I know we look at it as like they're all the same brand, but if this was happened on the main roster, do you think he would have been S class? Just all the same exact thing?
I don't know, because I honestly don't know if Vince would. He's so fickle nowadays. Like, if he can shelf Ricochet, I don't know if Adam Cole would get the same love, being kind of smaller.
Right. He wouldn't have had those matches in the main roster.
Yeah, maybe eventually he'd like build up to like a cash in, and he'd have like a similar career to Edge. But I don't think we know him the way we know him now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year. That was the Gargano matches were something special.
Yeah, they were. All right, we once again best of PWI. We have nothing in the D or F. Next video might just be like the worst of, but we're gonna go ahead and get to the finale. Do either of you have a veto that you want to move anything towards?
Let me look this over. I don't think so, actually.
I mean, John Cena 2007 can go down no more, but it's fine where it is. It's fine where it is.
I mean,
I was gonna say you can move him up.
Oh man. I think I'm fine with this. We can go
I'm
straight.
gonna use my veto for the first time.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Zach, but I'm moving 2007 John Cena A class.
Man, I hate you so much. I become part of the Robert Stone brand.
2007. Oh man. All right. We're gonna go straight into the S rank voting because we're running out of time here. We all know the arguments. We all know what's going up. Does anyone have a vote for 2002 Brock Lesnar to stay?
Nope.
Yeah, I almost did, but I think I see who I want to win. 2011 Punk, I vote for him.
Okay.
Man. These last three are tough.
Actually, no, I take my vote back. No, I changed my mind. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna vote for him for the S class.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I just changed my eye to again who I wanted to be. I get the feeling, Knock, you're gonna vote for AJ.
Yeah, let's be real here.
All right, so it comes down to your vote, Zach, because I'm voting for Brock.
Oh man. Man, the Brock return is so good, but AJ Styles coming into WWE was so good. I will say AJ Styles.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
if you want to look at one word for the reason for my pick, and that word is wrestler.
Yeah.
Wrestler of the year. I think Brock is the bigger attraction if we're doing it that way, but if we are doing wrestler of the year, I will say AJ Styles takes that year away from Brock.
I'm glad you made that difference. Yeah, I think that is a huge thing. Like a biggest attraction. I feel like Brock is more of an attraction type guy. The bigger guys like Rock, Stone Cold, even Cena, more attraction.
Because you brought up the fact that the Shinsuke AJ thing wasn't what we wanted, but look at all the stuff that we wanted. We wanted to see all these wrestling moves from both of them. So
Yeah.
that's why I pick AJ for Brock.
I will add this: when Brock returned, around that time I wasn't really watching WWE, and I didn't go back when he returned. I just kind of seen when AJ returned. I was back to watching WWE weekly.
Very true. All right, Brock down to the A column. All right, so we are really running out of time here, so I'm gonna go ahead and ramble off our list real quick. AJ Styles, S rank. Brock Lesnar, 2014, 2002, A. CM Punk. You know what? You guys can read. This is on YouTube. You all see it here. We're out of time. Congratulations to AJ Styles, 2016. You can check us out. We've got some more videos coming up for you guys. Check out the podcast. And without further ado, that's it. We made it. We didn't run long. All right.